Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the American Dufus Show. I'm Barry Welsh, your host. I want to thank everyone that has viewed past episodes, everyone that's subscribed and shared, commented, and I'm going to get to those comments. I'll be answering all of them online, and I just want to thank you for helping us to grow. A little bit about me before I get started with this episode. I was involved in politics, and actually I was considered a rising star of politics for whatever that may mean. And I had the opportunity to do a lot of things. I've met all of the past living presidents, with the exception of the current one. I sat down across the table from President Obama in 2007 in Chicago at a thing called Yearly Coast. I met Jimmy Carter while also involved in politics. I campaigned extensively with Indiana past Senator Birch Bayh, one of my political heroes, and on many of those campaign stops, also in support of President Obama, we campaigned with Bill Clinton. So that's how I've met all those presidents. I was in the media, and President Bush was in Indianapolis, and I was able to meet him. And those are the living presidents, and I've been fortunate enough to be in a position to somehow meet all of them. I also sat across the table in Washington, D.C. from Congressman John Lewis, and he kind of looked like that at me throughout the whole time. And it wasn't he was angry or mad or anything. He was just, he was concerned because I said I was considered a rising star in politics at that time. And he said, what's going to make you different from Mike Pence? Because I was running against the person that's now Vice President of the United States, oddly enough. And I told him I opposed the Iraq War, which was going on at the time, and I'm for expanding healthcare, and I'm for not defunding the public schools. That I believe public schools are a springboard, especially for those that aren't financially well off. And he said, what about the communities of color in your district? And I said, well, every event they invite me to, I show up. And he said, but you need to invite them to every event you're at. And that really stuck with me. It really stuck with me. Rest in peace, Congressman. And that brief 5 minutes sitting across the table from you in the Democrat Club in Washington, D.C. is something I'll always remember. I've had a lot of great experiences in politics. I've had some horrible things happen. I've done some doofus things. What's a doofus thing? Well, two of the main ways you can be a doofus is you can believe something that isn't true, or you can know something isn't true, but believe it anyway, and even go so far as to support it. And those two things can be potentially dangerous. Well, long story short, I found out what the game was, the political game, and I decided I wasn't going to play it. And so that's the long and short of the beginning of my political career. I got back into politics in 2016, and I was a supporter of Senator Bernie Sanders. I was at the National Convention in Philadelphia as a Bernie Sanders delegate. I'm going to talk about the upcoming 2020 conventions, both Republican and Democrat, in future episodes. But just some brief background. So tonight's episode, now that we've got a couple of definitions of how you can be a doofus, you can believe something that isn't true, or you can know something isn't true, but believe it and even support it and perpetuate it. It's embarrassing, it's unprecedented, it's unnecessary, and it's dangerous. But the 45th president of the United States is the biggest doofus in the world in 2020. And he didn't have to be. He didn't have to be. He could have united this country in a way that it hasn't been united since, tragically, 9/11. All that long ago. It's a pretty long time ago now that you think about it. The last time this country was really, truly united was right after 9/11, 2001. 19 years ago. He could have united this country, guaranteed his re-election. And it all comes down to two events. The discovery of COVID-19 and the murder of George Floyd. Those two events. Knowing that COVID-19 was out there, but choosing to believe it wasn't. Downplaying it. Only 15 deaths. When it gets hot, it'll disappear. We've heard all the things. And what that has done is created a potentially deadly subgroup of people that I call infectors. People that refuse to wear a mask when they're out in public and they know they're going to be in proximity of other people. And then the murder of George Floyd. That instant united a lot of America on its own. The way the President of the United States reacted to it caused division, as has his reaction to COVID-19. Do I expect everybody watching this to agree with everything I'm saying? No, I don't, and it's your right to disagree. This is about reporting, this is about opinion, and this is about my commentary, my opinion. So, the alternative to this president is Joe Biden. When asked, how would you stop violence between police and the violence police inflict on black men, you said shoot them in the leg instead. You know, I was kind of intrigued by Kanye saying he was going to run for president. And I thought it was a ploy. I thought it was a stunt. And there's still debate over what it was or wasn't. But I thought it intriguing because it seems like I would think the Green Party would be making an absolute huge push for validity at this point in time, and maybe they are in areas of the country, but I don't see it. I don't see it around where I'm at, and the same thing for libertarians or any other wannabe party. I've seen reports that some of the Bernie people are going to try to force Bernie to run for president. Bernie's already set his path, and God bless him for wherever that path takes him. But it sure would be nice to have a viable third option to the two options we have for president now, because both of them have potential for major doofusness. And I hate that it seems like it always comes down to the lesser of two evils. And I'm going to do a segment on that about what has happened to the two political parties, how the Republican Party and the Tea Party segment, and how the Democrats and those that are normally vote left of center to far left, the Democrats, because anybody that's been involved in Democrats knows it's very hard to get any of them organized to do anything except at the top. And again, we'll get into that on another segment. But anyway, it sure would be nice to have a viable third-party alternative. I thought that might be what Grandmaster Jay was doing with the NFAC. It may still be, but I thought he was doing the formations to build his name recognition, to try to capitalize on the political climate and possibly do another write-in candidacy. Anyway, back to the biggest doofus in the world for not uniting the most powerful country in the world. He's building a wall, and we've heard about the wall. You heard about the wall back in the 2016 campaign. Lock her up and build the wall were the things, the chants that got him elected president. He's building a wall, but it's not a wall between the United States and Mexico. It's a wall around the People's House, the White House of the United States. That's where the President of the United States lives. It's not anyone's personal home. It's property of the government. It's our house. He's building a 13-foot wall around it, for those of you that don't know, all the way around it. And that wall is not for protesters. It's not to stop protesters with cardboard signs. It's for when he refuses to leave, if he doesn't win the election. And the way the percentages are set now, he's not going to win the election. So that wall is not for protesters with cardboard signs. It's for what happens after November 3rd. Now, what happens after November 3rd? Again, this is a big topic, so we're going to do another segment coming up on that. But the biggest fear of people in power are people not in power uniting. Let me repeat that. The biggest fear of people in power is that people without power unite. Now, that's why we're divided. That's why so many forces work to divide people. What I just said, real simple. People in power fear people without power coming together, because that power is immense. It's immense. That's what that wall's for around the White House. It's to keep we the people out and to keep him in. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But when we sit down and talk with each other, when those of us in the white community sit down with any other person from any of the communities of people of color, if we just sit down and have open conversations, we very quickly find out that we have a lot more in common than we do in defiance of each other. But there are forces that bombard us with why we should be divided. Just a little something to think about. Thank you for watching the American Doofus Show. Please like, please share, please subscribe to the channel. And please continue to help us grow. Again, thank you all so much for comments and everything. AmericanDufus@gmail.com is the email. And thanks to those that have written there. And we'll be back very soon. Love you all.